Hey everyone, Anthony here. Thank you. I didn't hit my on-air button. 1 second. Hey everyone, Anthony here. Episode 93, Tornado Tag Podcast. We're interviewing the 2300 Wrestling Podcast. Boy, I'm butchering this already. We're off to a great start, Brian.
Formerly the Viking Hall Podcast.
Yeah, we're all over the place. It might be the beer. It might be I had a few too early going on and a few last night. We'll just blame that. But yeah, we have an interview going up, and we want to, hope you guys enjoy this. We're going to do a quick sponsor read here. We want to thank Abaddon Tattoo Studios, which once again I don't have prepared here. I'm kicking ass today, boys. Don't tell me I deleted it. Nope, here it is. So Abaddon Tattoo Studio, a unique professional experience nestled in the small town of Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. They provide high-quality tattoos, piercings in a relaxed, professional, and sterile environment. The links are below. You can go check out our sponsor Instagram. If you go over there, they all have their hyperlinks for their podcast, so you can go check them out and see if you check out their art, see which one's for you. Everyone there is absolutely fantastic. Eventually, I'm gonna get Brian there. He's gonna get a giant tattoo on his face. He's getting the Tyson. We're gonna try to do. Yeah. And we have one quick announcement before we start. Two announcements. One, the TeePublic is up. All merchandise is available. I believe it's still on sale. It's up to 35% off, depending on what item you buy, as well as our Teespring is completed. Everything is up there. The main logo is now going to be back to the one you see here. And all of the secondary logos are available. You can get a t-shirt, a hoodie, a canvas print, or a tapestry like you see in the back.
What I'm actually going to get at Abaddon is going to get the Ultimate Warrior's face paint tattooed on my face.
Yes.
He's on my t-shirt too. Well, this is the Intimate Warrior.
I like it. And we have a new member to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Really excited about this. We're going to bring him in right now. The newest member to the Tornado Tag podcast team. Boom. The Kilowatt.
I know that guy.
Hey, guys.
What a stud.
First, I'd like to thank Jesus. I'd like to thank my third grade teacher. Without them, none of this would be possible.
Is that the same third grade teacher who commented on the interview?
That was my eighth grade teacher. And
we'll thank them too, because they're aware of us. But we're going to get going here. We're going to start the intro music, and we'll bring in our guest, and we'll start this podcast. Here's some Billy Trey.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the IWP Network, or if it's your first time, welcome hanging out with us. Thank you so much for choosing this podcast, and feedback is always welcome. So make sure to check the links below for all social media links, audio and video versions of this show, and merch. We look forward to hearing from you and hearing that feedback, and enjoy the show.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back. Thank you guys. Live chat is open if you are watching along. Make sure if it's your first time here, hit that like, share, follow, subscribe, whatever you got going on. Help us out. Links are below for everyone, everything we talk about today and the people who are on the show. Like I said, episode 93, the 2300 Wrestling Podcast. I always keep forgetting to put wrestling in there. I'm 2300. I want to say arena, but obviously it's not. So give us a quick introduction. Give us your name, and we'll get this train rolling here.
I go by DB Richards. What else you need?
All right, so DB, you're DB Richards here from the 2300 Wrestling Podcast. How long have you guys been podcasting?
Since 2017.
Wow.
We were the undername Insecurity podcast. Now we're 10 Wrestling, and now we have two separate shows.
Awesome. Now your partner wasn't able to join us tonight. What's his name?
So he goes by Sweet Tea referee Dave Keener. He's related to Mike Keener from ECW.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what brought you guys together and started this podcast network or this podcast show?
So first in the beginning, 2017, I was doing the Insecurity podcast with my friend Fran. He didn't want to do an interview, so we split it up. He does basement dropkick, and I'll do 2300. You got me doing arena now.
Yeah.
The 2300 Wrestling Podcast. And he didn't want to do interviews, so he's like, he didn't think doing like indie guys was going to get us anywhere, so he just wants to do reviews. That's his thing. So in the beginning of last year, I went to Dave and I was like, hey, do you want to do a podcast with me? And he goes, yeah. And then he went out and got us a producer. His name is Quinn. He left us this year just to go back to school. So he'll be back at some point, and I don't have to edit anymore, I hope. I
need to get one of those.
And then, like,
Yeah.
a producer, yes, it would be great, wouldn't it? Oh, gosh, editing's so much fun.
I feel like that. I don't know if you've been watching like on YouTube and stuff or Facebook, those, because I use StreamYards, that ad comes up. It's like, I'm me, Josh Grogan, can do the backpack show. Like, I keep seeing the StreamYard ad, and I'm just like, shut up, man. This is a pain in the ass.
It's my audio only.
Yeah.
One less thing to worry about.
I wish I would have never started video. Oh, it would save me a lot of money.
So you're telling me to stay away from video? Gotcha. I'm going to do that.
If you want to spend, I mean, you can do video, but if you want quality and you want everything to work right, it's double the editing, because you have to do the video side, then the audio side, then you have to upload it and buy the right cameras and make sure the audio goes to the camera. Sometimes,
yeah, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Let me find some producers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much all self-taught. I have no idea. I'm not even still good at it. So I'm sure people look at the product and be like, man, you could do so much better if you did this, this, and this. And if you're that person saying that, help me. All right. Tell me what I need to do. I'll learn how to do it. I'm not requiring your services. Just the feedback is very important. So what is your overall goal when it comes to the podcast going into, like, so you said you like to do work a lot with the indie shows and stuff like that. So when you're going to an indie show, what is your overall goal as a podcast team?
To try to make family. I mean, I want everybody to be family.
I like that.
Yeah. I want to get everybody on. If I can get everybody on, I want to promote everybody. That's all I want to do. I want to make everybody a name. Everybody find out who they are. Like, I tell people in cars, I'm like, hey, you have to check out the guy that helped me out in the beginning, Frankie Picard. Frankie was the person that gave me the first interview. So Frankie gets a lot of props, you know what I mean? So, and I tell people who got me help, you know? So it's awesome.
Now, do you guys work with any wrestling promotions in your area, or do you guys work with a few?
We run around checking all the shows because Dave knows a lot of people. He knows like Matt, he knows Tremont, he knows oh my gosh. We just started like hanging out with Titan Wrestling in New Jersey.
They're
do
so
a lot
good.
of cool stuff.
So good.
I wish they weren't so far away, and we weren't in the middle of a pandemic. I'd love to go and experience the show. They're definitely on my list, because the cool thing about Titan, that this is what excites me about Titan, is not only do they do the Titan, but now they do the women's division, where it's like a whole women's only show for Titan, the Goddess series, right?
The Goddesses of War.
Yeah, the Goddess of the War. And not only that is one of the things that we kind of have in our area with like PPW and Outbreak and now High Tension is we kind of have like a little podcast team that we all kind of work together for the most part and help each other out. And the same thing's kind of happening at Titan, where you guys are there. Then you have like 4 other podcast teams all kind of working at the same shows, and with the whole overall goal of just putting over talent, which is really exciting.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We've been keeping an eye on you guys. We've been keeping an eye on you.
I keep an eye on all of you guys.
Yeah, and it's a love thing too. I think one of the biggest things, and I just want to put this out in Front Street too, because a lot of people, when they see competition, they immediately it gets ugly, or it gets or not like, oh well, they have this interview, we gotta, we gotta one up them, and that's good to an extent, but it's also, I kind of sent Alex a message here a while back when Bert Kreischer and Steve-O talked, and Steve-O talked about how he was jealous of Bam Margera, and it wasn't an unhealthy jealousy. Jealousy, everyone thinks of jealousy as a negative connotation, but he said, I was jealous of him because he was doing so well, and he inspired me to do better. And then when I did better, I went back and said the reason I did it was because he was a great competition. He was a great someone to make me want to up my game all the time. And I definitely feed off that with a lot of these local podcasts, with you guys in your little network out there with the Titan guys. And and the ones out here. Like if I see someone do something cool, I'm like, man, I got to step up and fix my game and make myself better. And if I can help other people out, I want to do so on the way. So I really, hopefully one day we can merge those podcast families together. And,
I know.
First step.
I know, Tony, when this whole pandemic thing recedes, we all get our Fauci ouchies. I want to get you to the arena. I want to get you to the arena. That's a pilgrimage you have to make.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The last time I was the first time I was there is when I met Dave, and we had taken Melina there for PPW, Melina Perez, and that was an awesome day. Then we went to watch that Impact House of Hardcore pay-per-view that night. And then the second time and the last time that I was there right before the pandemic was the pay-per-view for Ring of Honor right after Final Battle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was that when the big Matt Hardy thing was going on with the elite and stuff?
No, that was way long ago. This was supposed to be Marty Scurll's last night in Ring of Honor, but it turned out not to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's the night that Maria Manic's boob came out.
Oh, exciting.
I don't know if anybody else heard about that.
Yeah. So who are some of the other teams that you guys work with up there?
You got Bob Culture up there. You got, I'm not sure their name. I just follow them. But whoever wants to work with us, we work with them. Yeah. I've been trying
to collab with Bob for a while, and
he's always busy.
He's a busy guy. Yes, One day we'll eventually get it. He came in our live chat last night. He's like, Tony Blackwell going to be on the Bob Culture podcast sometime this year. I'm like, I'll see when I believe it, Bob, you bastard.
Deathmatch Russell, he's a good one.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
actually, one of my unboxings there may be a Deathmatch DVD in there.
Oh,
yeah.
One of the first like tapes I had of Deathmatch I bought at the Pro Wrestling Shop at the old Franklin Mills Mall. It was a little kiosk that was right by like the Rainforest Cafe, and it just sold wrestling stuff there.
So who are some of your favorite indie guys out your way? Or some of your favorite talents?
Favorite talent? Oh my gosh. I have to say all of them. You know what I mean? Everybody's out there is amazing. Everybody has special ability. People I like to talk to and I see around is Johnny Moran. I like talking to him.
It's a great answer. You just bumped your way up the list on this network.
There you go.
We're big fans of that Moranster.
Like I said earlier, I like Frankie Picard. I like having fun with him and doing some crazy ribs with him. Mm-hmm. So who else I like out there? I like Sean Henderson. He's an awesome talent. If you haven't watched any of his stuff, you should check him out on IWTV. He just had night 1 and night 2 just release on that.
You can use offer code Leapfrog for 5 free days.
Yes.
Oh, look at that! Look, nice promo right there.
Nice little plug. I love that.
I like that. Well, I get paid the big bucks.
My gosh, but there's other people too. I enjoy ring announcers like Dave Adams and Brian Peterson. They're fun. I started running around with looking for people named Dave and taking pictures with them, and then I got bored looking for people named Dave. I started getting my name name tags and put Dave on it and take pictures with wrestlers with them. So that was getting going till the prize happened.
That's a great T-shirt idea. Just get a thing that says "My name is Dave" and then on the back put your podcast logo. There you go.
See, we have plans, but we're looking for the right person to make them shirts.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that little Dickie TV show. Hi, I'm Dave.
Yeah,
that's a great show.
Hopefully, I'll give you a little spoiler here. I think the only really one who knows about it is my wife and Alex in the corner there. My next goal, not just I obviously want to podcast and do this, but my next goal is I want to get better. I'm a decent artist, but I can only draw on pieces of paper and pen. I'm not really great at coloring and shading. So I think when it comes to income tax time or when that big papa stimulus comes to us in a couple weeks, that just got passed, I want to get a graphic design tablet and a good one, pretty expensive one, and I want to get better at graphic design, not just to get my art better, but I also want to help other people. So you're like, hey, I want to get this logo. This is my idea. And then I get better at practicing it, and then I can hook up you as a podcast, and you can get merchandise to help you make your money. And I could do the same thing with other wrestlers or guys who are coming up who want merchandise or logos. I'm not looking to make money off it. I'm just looking to help other people.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I like that.
That's a future goal for me. That's the first time I publicly said it out. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I'll tell you a big news for tomorrow. We're gonna have Just Incredible on.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. So that was all Dave Keener right there. We're gonna have some fun. So we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do and then post it out there.
Nice. We're excited to check it out.
I have two autographs from him on my wall.
Really?
One as Just Incredible and the other as, do you know Anthony?
No.
Brian, you gonna tell him?
The Portuguese man of war, Aldo Montoya.
There you go.
I did not know that.
They when they were trying to give him his gimmick, because he had impressed him, he was like an underneath guy, and they had him do a thing where he got an upset win over Ted DiBiase when Razor Ramon turned babyface, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna actually sign this guy, let's get him a gimmick. And Vince found out he was Portuguese, and then now he's the Portuguese man of war.
Yeah,
Montoya.
Just a little heads up, Dave. When I watch wrestling from a very, very young age, up until about like
I feel like a jerk now.
Right? No. But I want to let him in on the joke a little bit. But when I watched, I was the purest of pure fan. Like, I didn't read dirt sheets. I took exactly what I was told. I mean, I knew it was, it was scripted, it was entertainment, the whole nine. But I didn't look into who was behind masks. I just none of that ever registered. And then I was also a very, very huge WWE mark where I didn't watch any other product except WWE. Nice. And then when MMA became big, I took a huge break from wrestling and went MMA, and then came back wrestling maybe 4 years ago now, 5 years ago. So now I'm relearning all of the past stuff as we go.
Maybe a cool thing might be a cool thing to ask him. We did a little short series. There's only 2 episodes that we were able to release, but Dr. Frank Romaskavich, Aldo Montoya, gave him one of his masks and signed it as a gift, as many wrestlers did throughout the years. So I thought that was really interesting.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl halftime show at the weekend, he had these people where they were wearing these masks, these white masks, and it just reminded me of Aldo Montoya because there was no top on the mask.
Yeah. I had to turn the heat down, boy. It was hot in here. I'm right by the heater, and we have it cranked. I was sweating over here. So when did your fandom of wrestling become start, and who were what, do you remember your first match? Who was the first wrestler you saw? Any of those moments stand out?
That's a good question because I don't remember a lot of things back in the 80s. But I remember being a fan of Junkyard Dog, Piper, Savage. But I remember when I got them big giant stiff action figures, I had Hogan, Savage, Iron Sheik, Junkyard Dog. And that's all I remember. And then right around 91, I can tell you I became a big Bret Hart fan. So
yeah,
got his autograph, and I'm happy.
Nice. I always respected Bret, but I was always a Shawn guy.
Really, I was more a Marty Jannetty guy.
Oh boy,
Marty was good. Marty was a good wrestler. He's become a punchline, and a lot of it is his own doing. But he was a very, very.
Oh yeah, he was very talented. Yeah.
Dude, I knew he was escaping through that window, but
I love it. Now,
Tony, do you know the first match you ever saw live? Because I know mine. I looked it up on historywwe.com.
So I didn't go to a lot of live shows just because we didn't have the money to do it. So I had someone's parents took me to my first live show because they had the money to do it, and they brought me along, and I was in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice.
And it was, I think it wasn't like a TV taping. It was kind of like a house show. And the only thing I remember Shawn was in a 6-man tag. I couldn't tell you who was on the tag teams. That was a time too where they were prepping for the casket match. So they had a Yokozuna Undertaker casket match.
I saw one of those myself. Yeah.
And Lex Luger was big on that show. That was the main push was Luger.
I went to a show that had Yoko and Undertaker in a casket match. It was before the one at Survivor Series in '94. This was at the Spectrum, and an Eagles game was letting out at the same time the wrestling was letting in, and I missed we missed the first match. That's how bad the traffic was.
I can imagine.
But my first match, like I could tell you, the first match ever was this guy DJ Peterson, who was like a guy who didn't really do a whole lot. He was AWA Tag Team Champions, like I think one of the last AWA Tag Team Champions, against Mr. Perfect. That was my first match ever.
Yeah. Now, Dave, were your parents involved in wrestling? Were they fans and got you into it? Who was your introduction to the pro wrestling?
The crazy thing is, my dad hated that wrestling. He called it the F word, but my godfather was the one that got me into wrestling, and that's where the toys came from.
Yeah.
My dad thought he was crazy, but I enjoyed baseball and football and all that stuff. But wrestling was a love. I loved it. You know what I mean? But like you guys were talking about first shows, my first show was an ECW show.
Oh wow!
And that was it was Pitbulls versus the Ryans. Whoever lost had to break up.
Yeah,
and that was all. That was an awesome show. You know what I mean? I remember seeing Raven and all them guys. Stevie Richards. I thought that guy was trying to be like Shawn Michaels, and he was. But
it's our logo spoof here.
Yeah. But that's the first show I went to.
Like that got mangled.
Yeah.
What's that?
He had an actual BWO shirt, but he got a little mangled.
Yeah, it's missing a sleeve. I think it's cut halfway across the belly. It only because I have one BWO shirt that I bought from the Blue Meanie, one of my first independent shows I went to in Pottsville, and then years later at a show, Fox Vineyard was going to be wrestling. He's going to be tagging with the Blue Meanie at a Christmas show at PPW, and he put a call out. He goes, "Anyone have a BWO shirt I can borrow?" And I said, "I have one. Unfortunately, it's a medium because that's the only shirt size Blue Meanie had, and I wasn't leaving there without a BWO shirt autographed by the Blue Meanie." So I got this autographed Blue Meanie shirt, and he autographed it in blue marker, so you can't see shit on it. And if I wash it, it's probably leaving the shirt, so I don't want to lose it.
Gotcha.
So I told Fogg, I said, "Yo, you can use it." And he's like, I'm like, "Just don't cut the autograph. You can do whatever else you want to the shirt." I said, because he's gonna wear it in the ring. And he goes, "I don't want to ruin your shirt." I said, "As long as the autograph's there, the shirt's still a shirt. I'm never gonna wear it." And I said, "I want you to autograph it when the show is over because now it's a memory that you wrestled in the ring with the Blue Meanie with the shirt on." And he cut it all up because he's a big dude. I don't know if you ever see Fox Vineyard. He's not a small human. So he wore the shirt. And then after the match was over, he took it off and he rubbed his face paint on it and threw it at me in the front row. And it was like all covered in sweat, and I still haven't washed it.
I ran into Meanie in Delaware.
He's the biggest sweetheart I've ever met in professional. I met him at an airport. I met him in Vegas just by accident. And then he was at 2 PPW shows. And then I met him at an Outbreak show. And he's, out of everyone I've ever met, the hands down the nicest human ever.
Yeah, I was at a Michael's in Delaware, and everybody's wearing masks, and I noticed his girlfriend, and I'm like, I know her from somewhere, but where?
Yeah.
And then like I'm leaving the store because I was looking for something to put my autographs in, and then I'm walking out, and I'm like, there's Meanie. Hi, Meanie. And then I went to Target to look for something for my autographs, and there he is shopping in Target. That it was random, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to be that stalker guy.
Yeah.
So I tried to walk away from him, but every time he's like right there, and it's like
that's what happened
it was
to me.
a lose-lose.
Rob Van Dam came into a Dick's I was working at once.
Into a Dick's Sporting Good?
Yeah.
Yeah. First when you say I think you're like, Rob Van Dam's a dick? No. I was going to Vegas for our late honeymoon, and I get up at the airport. I turn around, and Blue Meanie's behind me. I was like, "Oh shit, Blue Meanie!" He's like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna hold you up, but like, nice seeing you. Thank you for everything you've ever done. I'm out of here." And I left. And then I'm in Vegas, and I'm standing at a Ben and Jerry's, and like I look behind me in line. I'm like, "Shit, it's the Meanie." And he's like, I'm like, "What's up again?" He's like, "Oh, you went to Vegas too?" And I was like, "Yeah." and we weren't even on the same flight. We were two different flights, and he was there, I guess, for a convention that they do. I guess it's like an organization.
Cauliflower Alley.
Okay, yeah.
Cauliflower Alley.
Yeah, where they do like health benefits for people and help guys out.
Cauliflower Alley.
And they were I guess honoring Shawn Michaels that year. And I was like, "You're telling me Shawn Michaels is in Vegas right now?" He's like, "Yes." And I was like, "You know where?" he's like, "No." I'm like, "All right, I shot my shot." You know, I've never met Shawn. My wife did, and she came home and made fun of him to me. In my thing, I didn't tell my wife that Shawn has an eye issue. So she's only seen old stuff of Shawn, you know, and then she's seen him, and then I guess he looked up at her, and I guess she kind of was like taken back by it, and then immediately texted me and goes, "You could have told me he was cross-eyed." You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, I felt I didn't need to, Heidi.
There's a frequent spot when anybody's like there's a wrestling show at the ECW arena. A lot of the people like on the show, people that go to the show, they'll always go to the Oregon Diner afterward. And there was one time where I didn't even know there was a show going on. I was in town for something else. It was the weekend Michael Jackson died. And it's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm a little few sheets to the wind. And we're just, let's go to the Oregon Diner. And we look over at this table, and I just noticed this big guy, but his back is turned. And my buddy and I were talking to the person we're with, and we're like, yeah, the wrestlers come here all the time and stuff. We had no idea there was a show at the arena that night. And then the guy gets up and walks out, and it's Al Snow. also saw the speaking of huge, also saw the Big Show there.
Yeah,
the Big
he's
Show
elite
there.
now.
Yeah, he's all elite now. He's Paul White now. But no, he was there right after the WWE ECW show they did at the arena right after the second one night stand.
Yeah,
cool.
I ran into Davey Richards and the Young Bucks there.
That's
kind of awkward when you're wearing a Davey Richards shirt.
Yeah,
that's like me bumping into Billy Gunn with a DX pin on my hat, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm a fangirl right now. I'm gonna run away. I can't speak to you. I did. I was so like, dude, that was like my hero. Like every video game I ever played, I always use Billy Gunn. The Famous is still my favorite finisher.
I prepped him too before that PPW show. I'm like, dude, Billy Gunn is huge. Because another show I went to at the arena is when they did the TNA house show there, and the main event was Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, the Dudleys, and America's Most Wanted in a three-way tag, and they're brawling right by us. And it's like unless you see Billy Gunn up close, you don't know how big that guy is. And I told Tony, like, yeah, he's huge. And then he comes, he's like, oh my god.
It's a huge human. You don't realize. I mean, you kind of get a scope of how big he is now in AEW because not everyone there is big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're all like us-sized guys, which is not a bad thing. They're still great workers, but Billy Gunn, he's like the Big Show of that until they signed the actual Big Show, or Paul White. So who are some of your favorite people you have interviewed? I know you said some names earlier, but what were some that just stand out to you that always means something to you or were important to you?
Oh, did I did that again? Hold up.
You good?
Yeah, I just hit my phone.
Wow. I said, who were some of your favorite interviews that you've done or ones that always stand out or mean a lot to you?
So I did 80 so far.
80 interviews.
Really,
good for you.
Yeah, 80 interviews. I really enjoyed he's a friend of mine. I grew up with him from high school and all, and I enjoyed Brian Sosha. That was one of my favorites. He was a chick magnet in ECWA, but that's one of my favorites, just because he's a friend and he said yes to do it. That was awesome. Sean Carr was a good one. I
love Sean. I'm a big fan of Sean Carr.
I'm looking at my list anyway because I brought my computer because I have to finish it.
Real quick about Sean Carr. If you're a fan of interviews and PPW, they're doing a new PPW Unplugged over the PA Piledriver Network. Alex here is a member of that team. And they kind of let in some behind the scenes that Sean Carr is interested in coming back to PPW. So please, pandemic, be over so I can see Sean Carr in person again and watch him wrestle because that dude is insanely talented.
And definitely check out PPW Unplugged. That's a great look behind the curtain.
Oh, it's so good.
Scott, Paul, and Alex have incredible chemistry. It's definitely worth a listen.
You want to talk about making me up my game? That podcast 100% is making me reevaluate, like, because we're working on ways that we're going to do watch-alongs and how we're going to go about it and like car ride homes. And they've inspired me to do different, like look at things differently when it comes to that. Like that show is so good. It's only one episode in. I think it's my favorite wrestling podcast locally right now. It was really talented. You guys killed it. You guys killed it. Just being dishonest, honestly. Yeah, but go ahead, man.
Let's bring one of your guys, Andy Header. That was
Andy Header. He was he was supposed to come here tonight, but he had some stuff going on. I kind of sprung it on him.
Yeah, last minute. One of my favorites was Mr. Royal. That dude's a legend. He's a legend.
That guy is ECWA.
For the 2300 interviews, Corey Castle was a fun one. Ken Dixon was awesome. Nick Pop Giorgio was awesome. Sean Henderson was fun. Chris Hemrick, that was an awesome one. We talked about his bump. Phineas James was a fun one. Stan Styles was cool. I like talking to Drew Blood. Sean Donovan was awesome. Sign Guy Dudley.
Sean Donovan, that's a great interview. Nice.
Oh, dude, that was outside. We did it for Pals. And
nice.
He came on to do it there, and it was kind of cool. Kira McCannon, she was fun. HC Lock, I like him. And Johnny Moran for the second time. With Christine.
Yeah.
Got him on with Christine Marie, and she was fun.
He's your competition now. He's your competition. High Tension has Moran and friends.
Yeah.
He's doing his own interview series.
I don't know, Moran's like, you know what? People are interviewing me. I'm going to start interviewing people.
Yeah. Very good. Another very good podcast. I think when it comes to podcast art, he wins the 2020 award this year.
Cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
I thought it was cool. Like, cause he works for Titan Championship Wrestling, and they actually share his podcast on their page. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really happy what Titan's been doing. Unfortunately, like I said, with this whole pandemic, I haven't gone out to support, but
yeah,
I definitely been watching what they're doing, and I'm a fan of what they do, and I'm a fan of how they let so many different podcast people in there to work with them and do cool things.
They also work with other promotions. Like they do a thing where they'll send two of their guys out to have a match on somebody else's show. Like these guys are doing everything I want in professional wrestling. Promotions working with promotions, working with podcasters, and like Dave was saying, bringing a family together. That's what I'm all about. Yeah.
Speaking of family and the Tornado Tag podcast family, if you guys are watching this now or later on, in the links below is the community page for the 10 Wrestling Podcast Network, where they have a community page. They're up to 700 some members, which is absolutely awesome. Please, guys, go over to that community page, join them, make some good interactions, keep that positivity going, and support another podcast network. Because like it or not, man, eventually we're all going to merge. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna work together. We're all going to work with each other. And speaking of that, we have some independent wrestling news. I shared to you, Alex. Synergy pretty much came out and said the door's open. We want all promotions. Like we don't want we want to work with each other. We want to make we want to put over wrestlers. At the end of the day, if the goal is to get the guy to the next level, and then when he gets to the next level, your company's the one who helped him do it. You know what I mean? So huge shout out to Synergy for putting that out there. I know that's something that, I mean, it's been said publicly, but I know Alex here has been huge on with High Tension, saying that he wants to work with all promotions, and that's good to hear. It's refreshing when it comes to the world of independent wrestling.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, So when it comes to the future of the 2300 Wrestling Podcast, what do you guys have planned, or what do you guys have locked in for the future?
We got plans. Don't know how we're going to start it yet, but we got plans. I can't say what yet, but we're just trying to put more people onto our team.
Does the Daredevil Dave Dahl factor into any of your plans?
Question here from
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I love that guy. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him for a while. I should send a message to him.
Yeah. I think I'm going to reach out to him.
Random Rick Reviews said, would any of you guys want to try / go to one of the wrestling schools once you get back to normal in a bit? Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to, not me personally wrestle, but I'd love to go to a school and see what they do and interview some talent, maybe do like a little behind the scenes what they got going on there. Without giving too much away, there is a podcast that me and Brian may be a part of, and one of the people we're going to reach out to for an interview runs a wrestling school. So that is something that has been talked about. I don't want to give too much details, but it is something like that coming. May not be on this network, but it's coming. And
one of the last show we went to before everything kind of got shut down was the GSW One More Time show up in Plains, and we got a chance to very, very briefly meet with Justin Glory from Backbreakers.
Yeah, he was very receptive to us going up there as well. But obviously, pandemic happened, so we lost a lot of those not contacts, but lost a lot of those abilities to do that. PPW has a wrestling school. There's a bunch of wrestling schools in the area, and we're very open to doing that. How about you guys on your end?
Titan just opened up one in Claymont, Delaware.
It's true.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what are some personal goals you have for the podcast? Maybe ones you can put out, like how you said right now, you're audio only. Do you have goals to turn to video? Do you have goals to enhance audio? Like, what are some personal goals? I'm all about speaking things into existence.
So me and Dave are like the two old guys from the Muppets. You know what I mean? So there's little skit videos we are planning on writing up and trying to put on YouTube. So, and then maybe someday we'll build a little place to bring into wrestling shows and just heckle the fans and crowd. And you can ask Andy. We were heckling everybody at that one show we went to in Jersey. I'm not going to name it because it was a horrible show. Until it got to like certain matches. Like Andy's match came up and the show got better, but in the beginning it was just horrible. I wanted to leave, but I couldn't leave. You know, they didn't want to be rude.
That's one of my favorite things about indie shows is the heckling, but not only heckling, but getting your heckles noticed by the wrestlers and then them feeding back to you is always fun.
I love chanting like odd things because I hate original chants like "you effed up" and stuff like that. I always say "steal your shoes" when they're doing an ankle lock. Where's your water? If somebody brings out water, just use stuff. You know what I mean?
Andy's been known to steal somebody else's water ringside.
Yeah, at a Titan show, it was Tommy the Moose versus I think it was Magic, and somebody from that worked there took his water, and then he's like, "Where's my water?" And then I was like, "Where's your water?" Chant. It was fun. Yeah.
Who did Andy wrestle that show that you said you were talking about?
Oh, Andy was in a he was in a 4-way dance, and I can't remember the tag teams right off the head right now.
Another interview, if you're interested in getting a really good wrestling story when it comes to training and what they've gone through, you should look at Andy's partner, Matt Turner.
Yes. I just friended him on Facebook. And
he'll do it too. He's always down to do podcasts. He has a great story. He was part of the ROH camp when and he was trained. His head mentor was CM Punk, and then once CM Punk left, Daniel Bryan took over his training. So he's got to go and lock up with a lot of really, really talented people and had a really good experience with it. And he has a lot of cool stories. You should definitely reach out to him.
I should. Dave's the one that schedules everybody, so I just send people's names to him. So when he does everything,
on the list.
yes, we will get you on the list.
Yeah,
because the plan of trying to do a show, I want to do more of like a talk show, and then bringing people on. You know, like to bring onto the crew. You know what I mean, or bring you guys on to talk.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about Matt Turner, but we'll come on anytime you want to.
Yeah. I just want to keep the interview separate from that, and I just want to open up a new show and have fun with it.
Absolutely, man.
Now, is Dave Mike Keener's brother or like?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because his co-host Dave, his brother was a legend because when I was in high school, there was always I was in high school in the late '90s. It's like, oh yeah, a referee from ECW went to this school, and it was Mike Keener.
Yeah, I always ask for the better Keener, but they gave me Dave. So
maybe you can get Kid America on the podcast.
That'd be awesome. But he already said he respects our podcast, but he doesn't do it. So
yeah,
that's awesome. You know what I mean? He's having fun, like finding out that there's people contacting him again.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like,
that is very cool.
Yeah, But I rib Dave all the time, and I wish he was here because I would rib him in the car still. You know what I mean? I'd be at his house, but that last Uber ride took me to Upper Darby.
Yeah.
Don't know why I'm in It's like I was already in Delaware. Why I'm in Darby? I don't know.
Who are some golden catch interviews that you want to get that you haven't got yet, but they're on your radar?
That is a good question. Anybody from ECW's past, I would love to get anybody because we are called the 2300 Wrestling. I would love to get mostly more ECW guys because that's our goal, to get more ECW stories from the arena and everything else. So if I go back in the ECW, I would love to have Blue Meanie, but that's going to be a hard one because he doesn't know who I am. So
Is he big on social media that you could send him a message?
Oh, yeah. You hit him up on Twitter, and he's very receptive.
he's good friends with Dave, so Dave will get a hold of him. I keep on messing. I would love to try. I would love to get Steve Carino, but he's still with WWE, so that's a no right now.
That's a hard sell, yeah.
I know Simon Diamond is another one I would love to talk to because
You
he
can
was a
maybe
big baseball.
get some of the other Carinos, though. I mean,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
yeah. Just have to tell Keener to get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll go over his house at 6 o'clock in the morning and beat the horn, tell him I'm there, and then we'll start doing it. That really happened. I do that stuff to him all the time. Like our road trips, leaving wrestling shows. If he's playing around with my radio, I put on like Disney music or Muppets music or something like that, just to fuck with him.
Good stuff.
Is that all right to say that first?
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
That's what you want.
It's not all right to say Disney, though.
Yeah.
Don't say the D word.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say the
Okay.
D word. Yeah, we don't want to get
Okay.
banned. No, you're good.
Okay.
We're the
By
no
the D
holds
word, I
barred.
mean Don E. Allen.
Yeah.
Donnie Allen. That would be an awesome one to get.
That would
too.
be a good get. That would be a good get.
When I think of ECW, I mean, for me, just Tommy Dreamer always pops in my head first. That's just like him and RVD are the two guys when I think ECW. I think them, and then I think your next in line would be like Sabu and the Dudleys. But I've always just been a huge fan of Tommy Dreamer. I'm a big Tommy Dreamer fan.
Don't say the D word, Tony. Don't say Dudley.
No Dudley. Oh, sorry, no D's. Look at
No,
Random Rick is offended. We've done it. Thank you for hanging out with us again tonight, man.
See, I would love to have them guys too, but they're hard to get. You know, what I mean, they're in big companies. So
and they both Dreamer and Bubba are part of
Busted Open.
Busted Open, and I think it's one of the most. It's probably the best wrestling show that you can listen to. I think they just do a great job.
Yeah,
you got to get some of the lesser Dudleys, Little Snot. And
I had Sign Guy and Chubby already on.
Okay,
nice.
Yeah. So we are trying to get dances. That would be awesome to get, but we asked Chubby to try to get a hold of them. So we'll figure that one out.
Speaking of ECW, not always been ECW, but he's also made a little bit of impact there. Well, what's his name? I just literally forgot. Terry Funk, supposedly not doing too great right now. So
yeah.
It's when guys are getting up there in age, it's like, oh my god.
And his wife just passed away, and that's always tough when somebody's been married for like decades. Like they were married like 40, 50 years. It's always tough.
Yeah, it sucks when you lose those guys. You know what I mean? Like the people that you've just been like watching for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a Terry Funk story.
Oh, please do.
So, my one friend, his name is George Pellegrino. His mom, Mo, drove ECW wrestlers around, all around Delco, stuff like that. So, when you meet somebody and they say, "Oh, I know this person, this person, this person," I didn't believe it. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. You know Terry Funk, okay. Eddie Guerrero, okay, sure. So, we went to a wrestling show all the way up in Philly. I think the Armory, I think it was. And after the show, and I hear Terry go, "Where's my daughter at? Where's my daughter?" And out for nowhere, you see Mo going, "Dad!" And I'm like, holy shit. So I got a picture taken with Terry and my friends on crutches and all that. And so he's trying to take the picture. He falls back, and I turn to Terry and go, Now, see, he fell. That's hardcore. And there's my Terry Funk story.
Nice.
So Terry was a really, really nice guy. And he did one good.
I got to see Terry wrestle Abdul the Butcher in a no holds barred steel cage match in Shenandoah, Pennsylvania, and that was the last time we ever allowed to have wrestling shows in that town ever again because they bled all over the damn place.
And another Terry Funk story I would like to say. I had a friend named Dustin Walls. He passed away back in 2012. He had cancer and all that, and Mo got Terry to call him up and talk to him about fighting, and that was kind of cool story. Terry Funk, I have to say, is one of the sweetest people in the world. So
yeah, we're gonna get a recreation of one of his classic matches with the barbed wire landmine match with Moxley and Kenny Omega soon.
Yeah,
that might be fun to watch. See what happens.
How do you feel about? We'll kind of ask some wrestling questions here when it comes to current day. Do you watch current day product?
Yeah, I do when I'm not busy. Yeah. I'm always working. But
how do you feel? How do you feel about the Insider Awards? Where pretty much AEW cleaned up, won everything.
Really? Is it all AEW fans that voted?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the Observer subscribers. So
yeah,
that's they're very AEW, like very pro AEW there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where Meltzer had Tony Khan on the show when they were doing the award show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh,
then I don't give credit to the awards. Then you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't care about awards. If you have the best match of the year, I think everybody's going to say Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world. I think Adam Cole is. So,
baby.
So, yeah. So, I'm different with a lot of things. You know what I mean? But I like AEW. I like seeing all the guys that you see in indie shows make it. You know what I mean? I'm happy to see Sonny Kiss running around. I'm happy to see Casey Navarro being on the show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Been on there a lot.
Yeah. But when is Sean Donovan's going to go in there? That's what I want to know.
When is he finally going to get signed?
When is the Grizzly veteran going to make it?
Yeah.
There's a shout out for you, Sean. Get him on there.
Oh, yeah. You guys see his recent promo that he just cut about like old school wrestling? No?
I did not.
Check it out. That's a hell of a promo. Yeah.
You know who I think needs to be on a Wednesday night soon? After watching Love Frog? Effie.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, dude, amazing.
Oh,
I saw him wrestle for the first time at Matt Tremont's retirement show. It was kind of cool to see.
If you haven't seen the Love Frog final match, go to Effie and Still Life. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was a masterpiece. Yeah. It was a masterpiece. It was a really good match. And like I said, his promo abilities, his in-ring work where he just like scream I don't know. I'm a huge fan. Some of the best t-shirts in the game too.
And who knew he could sing?
Yeah. Something about a dude with a mustache like that with those fishnets and trunks on just bleeding from his head. It's an experience.
Oh yeah.
So what are some of your favorite promotions like now? Like, so if you when a Wednesday night comes on, what's your first program you watch, and do you flock more to the Impact, the Raw, the SmackDown, or do you more just stick with your IWTV and watch your independent stuff?
See, what I do is let the DVR record it, and I'll just wait till the last minute and just start watching.
Yeah,
because I hate listening to people on the internet now because they all think AEW's better, and it's like just watch wrestling. Enjoy it. Support. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do. And I do like IWTV when I have time to watch it. I do have a subscription for it. So
yeah. What network is Impact on? I never seen it. It's currently Access TV that no one has access to, and you can also watch it. Yeah. Or you can also watch it on Twitch live.
Well, they're back on Twitch.
Yeah,
I believe they are.
Are they back on Twitch?
Yeah, RVD didn't.
RVD screwed them for a little while. Yeah.
Yeah. RVD and Katie Forbes and another girl had like a threesome scene, and Twitch was like, "Can't do that."
Well, I think there may have been a slip of something. And that's why they got banned.
I went back and watched after it happened when Impact came to PPW, and Katie Forbes is in the ring twerking, and all you see is me in the back doing the "We're not worthy." I tweeted, I said, I can't believe at my age of 30, I'm watching two ECW legends and Rhino versus RVD in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. And unfortunately, I didn't see 1 second of the entire match because I was too busy looking at Katie Forbes. And RVD and Katie Forbes retweeted it and liked it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool match, though, because, it's not often you get to see RVD in the ring. And then when you do, you get the opportunity that night, he teased all his big moves, but because he was playing a heel, he was like, nah, screw you, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. I love
cool.
that RVD where he's like, I'm not doing what you want me to do. I love heel RVD. That was such a good run for him.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, the best was when he's on the top rope to do the 5-star frog splash, just jumps off. Like, nah.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of heel RVD. I still think he has some time left in him and just go to a company and do it, but I'm just not sure where he would fit in. Him and Darby Allin would be some fun matches.
Yeah,
because they're both psychotic.
I'd like to see AEW maybe bring in some young guys too.
Yeah, I agree. Dark, you know what? I've been watching a lot more Dark. Dark is a good time. That's where you get a lot of the guys on TV you don't really get too much.
Yeah,
and you get to see a lot there.
Saw Brandon Cutler win all those matches.
Yeah,
I think they just use Dark to pad people's records, so everybody comes in like that loses every match on TV, like Sean Spears.
Yeah,
and he's on a 12-match winning streak, and they're all on Dark.
Yeah, who's the guy tagging with Brian Pillman Jr. now?
Griff Garrison.
He's good. Okay, I like him.
Yeah.
I
do have a Brian Pillman story. But
go ahead. Yeah,
it was at Pro Wrestling Magic, and he got chapped by Dan Maff, and people started pointing that he shitted himself, and in the back I get the story from Drew Blood because I drove up with him and Frankie and Devin Moore, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Brian Pillman's in the back was going, oh my gosh, this is the greatest moment in life," and that's my Brian Pillman story. So everybody's telling me. People were like pointing, came out with different tights and everything.
Yeah, he's just a really he loves the business, man. Like he's just really. I didn't really get to talk to him personally, but just watching his interactions and just hearing behind the scenes stories of him at PPW, just loves what he's doing, and he's just riding it, man. I have not respect for him.
That made me think of a story. I think it's in Bobby Heenan's book. There was this old territory wrestler, Killer Carl Cox, and he did a thing where he would wear white trunks like Mr. Wrestling too, and he during this one match he took a warm Hershey bar and he slid it down the back of his trunk, and he told his opponent to give him an atomic drop, so it like really squished down the Hershey bar. And so there's this big brown stain on the back of his trunks, and then he reaches into the trunks and pulls out the Hershey bar and like holds it up so the crowd can see it, and he holds it up to his nose and just acts like he smelled something really repulsive, and then he just ate the Hershey bar.
If that doesn't happen at Leapfrog soon, I'm unsubscribing.
I mean, I might go as far as to recreate the Caddyshack Baby Ruth scene, but we're not eating shit on Leapfrog.
You heard it here. They did that. They did that on a SummerSlam pre-show one time. I think it was like '96. They had a pool party, and I think it was just like a big thing so you could have an excuse to get like Sunny, Sable, Marlena in bathing suits. And
nothing wrong with that.
Not complaining. But they did a thing with like the candy bar and the pole, and TL Hopper went in and got it.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, but
what
if you want somebody
falls out at Leapfrog? What if someone's muffler falls out during a Leapfrog show?
No. I don't know what that means, and I don't want to know what that means.
Brian, explain to him. I only learned this from the podcaster, Brian. Explain to him what a muffler is.
This is where we were talking about John Nord. We were doing the thing with the people from Robbinsdale High School. John Nord has this great interview on YouTube. I think some people just walked up to him in a diner or something, and they just started talking to him. And he talks about when he was very young, he wrestled Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty Rhodes put in a muffler. I guess a lot of bigger wrestlers would put they would wad up a big piece of toilet paper and stick it in their crack, and like Harley Race would do it, Dusty would do it. So during the match, John Nord's going to give Dusty a pile driver, and he can't get him up because Dusty's a big dude. He can't pick him up for the pile driver. And he looks out to the curtain, and he sees Vern Gagne looking like, come on, do it. And that's his boss. So he's like, okay, you're going up. So he says he grabs one cheek, and he grabs the other cheek. Oh, I just hit my mic. He grabs the other cheek, and he pulls him up, and he gives him a wedgie while he's doing it. He gives him the pile driver, and the crowd is like kind of silent. And he's like, what are they looking at? And he said, like, on the floor, he sees this big wad of toilet paper, and it's like yellow and red and brown, every color you can imagine. and Dusty turns and goes, Big Johnny, my muffler fell out. So anybody hears that story, they always want to talk about the muffler.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but that's great.
It's a man pond is essentially what it is.
Yeah, it's a man pond, exactly. Or a woman pond. I mean,
we're not discriminating.
Women poop too.
Yeah. Welcome to the Tornado Tag podcast. This is what we do here. We tell old poop jokes because we're 12.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great stories.
Yeah. Awesome. So, anything else you want to plug with the podcast? Where can people find you?
Oh my gosh, you can find us on Spotify, Anchor. I think there's an Apple thing out there. I don't have Apple, so I don't
Apple
look for me on Apple.
Yeah.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Formerly,
we don't have we have a YouTube, but I don't think we have that much stuff on there.
I have a link below so people can go subscribe to it if they want to.
Okay. Yeah, you can go to 10 Wrestling Discussion on Facebook. Have fun, join us, and hoping to get the page a little bit running more.
And the name they should look up for like iTunes, all that, Apple Podcasts is 2000 Wrestling Podcast, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's under 10 Wrestling, and then 2300.
Yeah, that's what it's under the 10 Wrestling Network. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we need a new logo.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you too long because, like I said, you're sitting in a parking lot and you're on your way home.
It's okay. I'm watching people get money. It's kind of cool. The guy just drove up.
Somebody thinks somebody's going to call the cops and he's casing the place.
Yeah, that's what
No, not really. I don't like Wells Fargo. I got USAA.
Yeah. But I want to say thank you for coming on. Definitely got to do this again soon. We'll get you and your partner back on and build this wrestling podcast community. Hopefully sometime soon we can get down to Titan and support those guys and have a big collaboration, have some fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. There is a page out there. I have to look it up, but it's like an IMDb for a podcast. I'll send it over to you.
Absolutely, yeah.
On there.
Yeah, anything to help us get our name out there. Pretty much all the only thing we're relying on at this point in time is word of mouth, because if I have $100, I'm going to put it into making my podcast look or sound better. I'm not paying Facebook to give me fake numbers. That's just not my thing. You know?
Is there fake numbers on Facebook?
Oh, when you pay for plays, like if you go on Google Ads and you promote your YouTube page or you promote your website or you promote your like, if you know how you could boost your post.
Yeah.
All they do is just pump fake numbers onto it to make you feel like you spent your money well spent.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
thank goodness I don't do that. Huh.
Yeah, I've already seen. I mean, I've tried once or twice in the early days, and I did like $20 on a video, and I got like 5,000 views, but no one commented, no one liked, no one subscribed, no one followed. I'm like, did they really actually 5,000 people view it, or did they just put 5,000 on the video and call it a day?
5,000 people scrolled past the sponsor. How many sponsors?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
They sponsor it. You're forced to see it. Therefore, the number registers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Facebook numbers are kind of wacky. I don't really take them at their full credit.
Yeah.
I like to see the comments. If I see comments and I see interaction, that's what I'm about. And I think we try to do a good job talking to the guests as well as interacting with the fans. And I think that's our main strategy.
I know that one fan really liked Rhino.
Yeah. they said they got to know him really well.
Intimately.
Yeah.
I would like to get some fans if you want to send some over.
Yeah, guys, go support these guys, and we'll like I said, we'll do more stuff in the future. We'll collaborate more and make this a thing.
That'd be awesome. I'm down with it.
Awesome.
We'll talk soon.
Well, let's get some plugs out. We'll start with you as a guest. I know you plugged your pages. Is there anything else you want to throw out as a plug?
Yeah, I'm going to be at Stan Styles Intergender 8. So we're going to be money marks. That's so awesome. That's one of my goals, to be on Money Mark. So I'm bringing in some wrestlers. You'll find out soon.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah. I'm going to be a Money Mark. That's awesome.
I was once a Money Mark, so it's cool.
I'll be a Money Mark
have the money.
once I get my podcast paid off. Then I'll Money Mark somewhere else.
Now I'm an actual promoter, so I'm good.
Yeah.
It all led somewhere.
Yeah. This microphone can get me maybe like Taz, but I'd much rather make my podcast sound better than pay for Taz to show up somewhere at this point in time in my career. But
yeah, I have more goals to get more stuff too. So
like I said, if you ever need help, man, we're always a message away. If you have any questions on microphones or anything, I said I'm not an expert, but I spent a lot of money on equipment I didn't need and equipment that wasn't the right equipment for me. And so if you ever have any questions, we're always here to help, and that's what we try to do, man. We try to help out the next guy and try to get people their quality where it needs to be.
Thank you very much.
Alex, what do you got to plug?
Oh, man. What don't I got to plug? So let's start off with the PPW Unplugged. This podcast with me, Scott Fineout, and Paul Bell. Let's not forget Paul Bell.
Never.
On the PA Pile Driver Network, you can check us out. We review and talk about and just have a good time talking about PPW and some of the shows and characters that have come through there. There is
real quick before you jump to the next segment. PPW Unplugged, they talk about their first Super Show, which had a bunch of big names on, like Jack Swagger, Melina, and also the Boogeyman. And Alex gets to tell some great Boogeyman stories that he has experienced, and how Boogeyman made everyone in the arena almost throw up. So, if you want to hear that story, head over to the PA Pile Driver Podcast Network and listen to the first episode of PPW Unplugged.
Well worth the listen. Worth the listen.
I was at work in fucking tears, crying, laughing, and people were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, and I'm pointing at my ear because I wear a beanie and I have a mask on, so all I see is my eyes watering and me like can't breathe, and I'm just pointing at my head because I have the little tiny earbud in, and yeah.
I'm glad it was a good story. It's awesome.
Oh my god! I don't want to give away the story, so I want people to go listen to it. But it was
for sure.
Fucking hilarious.
Well, I hope there's a few more good ones. I just got a story approved for our next episode that's fairly explicit. So
nice,
fun. Yeah, we also have the Wicked Turtle Network where I do What Up Peeps. I review serials. We also have a backlog of awesome content from when we used to do Hitting the Mat on there. And Wicked Turtle, here's a transition for you. Wicked Turtle is sponsoring Camper's Choice, which is Camp Leapfrog's Leapfrog Live Camper's Choice, where via Twitter you're going to be able to get book at least two of the matches yourself on Twitter. So that's awesome. Cool. So yeah, Camp Leapfrog, IWTV. Check out our backlog. Check out on Fight TV or YouTube possibly our Cybernetico from GCW's Fight Forever, and keep an eye out because
when is Leapfrog Live airing?
3/20. So it's March 20th. It's a Saturday.
Nice. And then you'll announce the next show on that one.
Yes. So right after that show's done, our April show will be announced, and it's going to be the biggest thing we've done yet. Absolutely huge announcement.
It's called WrestleMania.
It's called WrestleMania. Frogomania.
Frogomania.
Or Leapomania.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else do I do? Oh, this show.
I'm pitching the idea live on the fly here. If you ever do a Royal Rumble, it's got to be called the Ribbit Rumble.
Wonderful. Love it.
I think he has a notebook full of all of our just fucking stupid ideas. Well, not stupid.
Like the stupider the idea, the more perfect it's going to be for Leapfrog.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, the High Tension Wrestling Podcast Network. We've got quite a few shows there. There's High Tension Wellness. There's the Miranda Friends podcast coming soon. A Camp Leapfrog podcast, which is going to be a podcast probably like you've never really heard before. It's going to end up in the world of Camp Kayfabe, so it's going to be fun. We also have we haven't announced this yet, and we probably won't announce it for a while, but the information is this: we've just signed 2 new podcasts to the High Tension Wrestling Podcast Network that will be announced probably in the coming weeks.
Exciting.
Indeed, it will. And I think that's all of my shameful promotions.
Brian.
Hey, that's me. I'm gonna plug the same thing I almost always plug. I am doing 2 podcasts now. One week, one the next. Through my little umbrella project, Humanoid. Murder My Dude I've been doing forever. Episode 102 will be coming out this Thursday. And then we have a new podcast called Pedantic, where we just talk about like the origin of words and phrases and just useless information. 2 know-it-alls just kind of talking about whatever and getting a lot of it wrong. So it's a lot of fun. The first episode we did, it's up now. If you look up Pedantic, Podantic, we talk about how the term pilot came along for the pilot episode of a series. We talk about some shows that changed very substantially from the pilots. We talk about where gender reveal parties came from, stuff like that. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, then check out Pedantic. And then one thing, since Andy couldn't be here today, I did want to plug something for him. March 6th, he and his partner Matt Turner will be working on a show called Shamrock Mayhem. It's going to be in Scranton. I don't know if it's sold out or not, but I believe there is also a like a pay-per-view type thing. I think it's $9. I'm trying to look up the details while I'm on here. But if you follow Andy or his tag partner on Facebook, I know they have a lot of the information on there. But yeah, I believe it's them, the Diamond City War Machines, and Born to Wrestle in a 3-way. And they will have the new shirts. If you are able to attend, they will have the new Star Wars theme shirts.
I already put my order in with Andy for my extra large, so he'll be bringing that to the show next time. We are doing a shirt exchange with Diamond City War Machine, so I'm getting a Diamond City War Machine shirt, and I'm sending them out a Tornado Tag shirt. I am always down for shirt exchanges, so if you want to wear a Tornado Tag shirt and you don't want to buy one, you can give me one of yours, and I'll send you one of ours. It's just that easy, and then it adds to my wrestling T-shirt collection. Just don't tell my wife, because I have way too many T-shirts. Yeah, but she's encouraging because she just bought me a new one. I don't know if you guys see. This is coming soon to the wrestling T-shirt thing.
Very nice.
Wrestling
Reminds me of the old John Cena shirt.
What's that?
The John Cena shirt, where it was like a parody of the old pro wrestling game.
Yes,
it's something very similar.
Yes, and then we're really happy that you guys are the first interview segment we're bringing back to the Tornado Tag Network. We're a Tornado Tag podcast. We haven't done interviews in a while, and you guys are the kickoff for that. And we're bringing back 2 interviews. We're back again on the 19th, and on the 19th we booked a brand new interview. Let me see. Let's double check here. Actually, no, it's not. The 19th is going to be a regular episode. I don't know if we have a topic yet. We'll figure that out soon. But the 20th, the next day, Saturday, we're going to be doing
the next Camp Leapfrog.
Yeah, we'll be doing an episode. Is that the same day?
Yeah,
at the same time.
Maybe.
Shit.
maybe we'll do that one a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I'll reach back out and see if we can adjust that. Yeah, but we're going to still record sometime that day, but I'm going to definitely make sure it's not airing the same time as Camp Leapfrog because I want to watch and have a good time. But we have Devontae's booked. You've seen him a bunch of times at Leapfrog. Really excited about that. Very excited to have somebody on the show that we can 2-on-1 ambush Brian when it comes to our love for the Washington football team. It's really exciting. Brian doesn't seem excited anymore about this interview.
It's going to be amazing.
And then we booked for the 27th. I'll let you do this one, Brian, because you're a big fan of this guy.
Yeah, somebody I have put over quite strong on this show. Has an excellent tag team. Almost won Christmas Trios. Matt Mikowski from Camp Leapfrog, formerly of Bellator, formerly of Chikara.
Will be in this year's Super 8
for High Tension. Will be in this year's Super 8. Devontae's was in last year's Super 8. There's a good tie-in for you. Matt Mikowski's going to be on the show.
Yeah, we're really excited about having Matt on the show. He does have a lot of cool stuff. You can check out his pages. I believe he's game streaming as well still. So go show him some love. And thank you for the reminder of that. I have to reach out to Devontae's and see if we can do that one earlier. So we can. I want to live tweet during Leapfrog again because that was so much fun. If you haven't experienced live tweeting wrestling shows, Leapfrog should be your introduction to it because that community is absolutely fantastic. The fans, it's a great time.
And especially this show, because like Alex said, if you're tweeting, you can help make the matches.
Yeah. So that'll do it here for Tornado Tag Podcast. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to check the links below for Murder My Dude, Everything for Alex, the 2300 Wrestling Podcast, and follow us on all social media. We set a goal for 500 on Instagram. We're very close. We're getting close to 500. I have a goal set for 1,000 on the community page. We're about halfway there. And I set a goal for 500 on Twitter, and I think we're creeping in on that too. We're at like 300 some. And just a month ago, I think we had 16 followers. So we were brand new, and we're really kind of getting better with Twitter. We've been putting that off for a while, but all the platforms are growing. Thank you guys so much. If you are somebody you know who's in the wrestling business, a wrestler, referee, promoter, booker, someone who does handshakes and hands out hot dogs, we want to talk to you. So have them come and let them know we exist, and maybe we get an interview. I send them to you guys, vice versa. We'll work out some cool stuff, but support this family of podcast networks, and we look forward to the future. And we'll see you guys next time.
You got hot dogs?
We will get them.
Okay.
When
I
do we
just
get
want
ice
some
cream?
hot dogs. Can I get a fist bump too?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll see you guys next time. Here's some Billy Ray.